Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome back to another edition of Monday Morning Grit with James and Warren.
Thanks for joining us.
Tuning back in for us.
Yep. But yesterday, I was without a vehicle, so
A little bit of a delay in the record, but
Still-
not even that bad. We'll still get it out
still
on the
still
Monday.
still without a vehicle. I'm wondering if
Did you lose it? You forgot where
So-
you parked it?
no. So I got rear-ended.
Mm.
This will be the third time I've been rear-ended in 5 years.
Interesting. Do you think you drive too slow?
Well, I
You think
mean,
you stopped too suddenly?
the first couple times I was at a dead stop, like at a stop sign.
Okay.
So, you'd think, that's not me stopping suddenly.
Hmm.
I'm,
That's with due warning.
you should know. The other time, so this most recent time, I'm on Interstate 5 heading north,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going through Federal Way, and I'm in the leftmost, passing lane, but not quite the HOV lane. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So, it's rush hour, and it's, stop and go, right?
Okay.
And,
Jackie Chan's there.
We started moving again, and then it just stopped all of a sudden, and it did come to a stop pretty quickly. And then I look up in my rearview mirror, because when you get rear-ended enough, it's just something you check every time you come to a stop on the highway.
Mm.
Not that there's anything you can really do about it when you look up and you see
Well, you can brace for
a,
impact.
a Ford Transit van that is clearly not stopping in time, and got rear-ended, and he tried to swerve or avoid me, so he went left, so he hit the back left of my vehicle with his front right.
He went left. That's not as good, I guess, right?
I wouldn't have done that,
Yeah.
because the HOV lane was still pretty free flowing, so he could have messed someone up there too. But when you're faced with an automobile collision, a lot of people don't think straight in those last milliseconds,
Yeah,
right?
they think left.
But anyways, so he hits me and destroys the front right wheel of his vehicle. So his Ford Transit van, is immobile, right, in the left-hand lane.
Mm-hmm.
I put my hazards on and I pull over as far as I can on the left side. Unfortunately, but we were at an area where there were guardrails, so it was blocking the HOV lane. So
Okay, so it made a big incident.
yeah, and there was something spilling out of his vehicle. I think it was coolant.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because I think the radiator got punctured.
that happens easily enough.
But anyways, I'm just so used to getting rear-ended. I feel like at this point, I was just
You knew the process and procedure.
pretty much. I put my hazards on, pulled over to the side, called the Washington State Patrol, and then just hopped on the other side of the guardrail and waited for the cavalry to show up.
Did you have to get a tow truck to take both of the cars away?
So mine was still drivable, away from the scene.
Mhm.
My insurance company says it's not drivable because the turn signal's broken.
Turn signal, that's enough for it to be non-drivable?
I mean, I think people not using turn signals is dangerous enough that I would say having no turn signal should make your vehicle not drivable.
Can't you use hand signals?
I did when I went home, but I mean,
Interesting.
I
I feel like you could jerry-rig something kind of pretty easily for yourself as a stopgap.
yeah, but we don't have insurance so that we can we can I don't know, wave signal flags out of our vehicles, right? But the first responder was actually a Seattle motorcycle cop. He
Oh, yeah.
pulls up and he's like, "Oh, this is the state patrol's jurisdiction." It's like, yeah, why are you here then?
Yeah, you're the wrong guy.
I think he was just there to really just block traffic,
That's useful.
which is good. But anyways, the state patrol showed up with WashDOT incident response, those pickup trucks out there with the big signs on the back. But
Uh-huh.
they told us where to go, and they actually pushed his truck, his van, to a spot where we could get out of the road. But the whole weird thing was the guy wouldn't give like his insurance details. So I was like, eventually I went up to the trooper after the whole thing, and I was like, did he give you like insurance details? Because like if the Washington State Patrol show up to the scene of an accident or a collision, they put together the exchange of information between the motorist, right? They do it themselves. They'll print it out. They'll hand it to you. He has no insurance information. The state trooper tells me that the license plate on his transit van isn't even for that vehicle. It's for a completely different vehicle.
Ooh, interesting.
And he actually had to check to make sure it wasn't stolen, but like it seems like this guy basically bought a Ford Transit van and didn't want to bother getting like registration or insurance because he didn't have a registration either. He didn't want to get any of that, so he took it off of a Ford Ranger that he already owned and just put it on this van. But yeah, so basically I got hit by an uninsured motorist. So luckily for my policy, it's only $100 deductible if you get hit by an uninsured motorist, and then I'm sure
that's not bad at all.
I'm sure the insurance company is gonna bill him back for everything.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard. That's not that bad at all on your end.
Yeah. So I'm pretty thankful.
How much traffic do you think you caused?
Honestly, it was already pretty bad. I would say it was probably already a 15-minute backup. I probably turned it into a 19-minute backup.
Oh, that's not that bad.
That's not too bad. But yeah, this guy, he was like, oh, I got this body shop my buddy runs. You just take it by there. They'll fix it up real quick, which is already very sketchy in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And then like he took a closer look and he offered to buy my car on the spot, and I was like, no.
Interesting. What number would he have had to have reached for you to have considered it?
Ooh, I'm gonna say 15 grand.
Okay. Is that doesn't seem crazy for him to have offered?
Well, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't follow it up with a number or anything.
No. I told him straight up. I was like, no way.
Well, you should have said, what number are you thinking?
I still need a car though.
Yeah, but if you had $15,000, you could buy a car.
Right, but that's a whole nother process. The only way I would want...
Do you think that's less work than going through the insurance to do it?
Yes. I like.
Interesting.
I don't know when the last time you went car shopping was, but like, at least for me, it was almost like having another job. Like doing the research, doing the test drives. I mean, I guess like...
Well, you could get a similar.
That's partially my fault too, because I'm a very thorough person when it comes to purchasing vehicles. So like, I will do all the research. I will watch.
Couldn't you just get the same car?
I could, but if it's available, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the used car market's still kind of iffy,
That's
right?
fair.
But it's my car. I like my car.
That's fair.
I wouldn't have sold it.
I've had the similar, but on the opposite side, where dealing with the insurance became like a part-time job.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I guess it's 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other.
The thing is, like, with a rear end, like, getting rear-ended is the only time I've had to deal with insurance. Those 3 times I've been rear-ended. It's the easiest one because the driver, 99.9% of the time, the driver that hit you is at fault in a rear-end collision. Like it's
a pretty easy open and shut case.
Like as soon as they hear that I got that you rear-ended someone or you got rear-ended, they pretty much already know who's at fault, and they know who they're going to assign at fault. I'm sure the guy that hit me got a few citations for not having registration, not having insurance, and probably also for rear-ending me.
Did you go to get any medical stuff examined?
No. I mean, my back and neck feel fine, so I figured I'm probably okay.
Oh, that's good.
I mean,
sometimes your insurance will recommend that you do that.
Yeah, they didn't in this instance, but I'm sure like had it happened at a higher speed, I'm sure they would have. But it was like stop and go traffic, thankfully. And like I said, he kind of glanced off the back of my car because he did try swerving left. But it's just one of those things where, like, this guy, he's obviously worried about how much money he's going to end up having to pay for this, because not only is his own van busted, but my insurance company is probably going to bill him back for whatever repairs there are on my car, plus the rental, and he's got the citations, and it's like, just have insurance.
Yeah, right.
Just that's my big lesson. If there's one big lesson out of this, make sure you have insurance. It will save your wallet.
Oh yeah.
But so that's basically where I am right now in terms of my vehicle. I feel a bit unlucky being rear-ended 3 times in the last 5 years, but
Maybe you should get one of those extra red light bars on your. You know how some cars they'll have like a bar in their rear window that also has extra red lights to.
I'm just gonna get one of those like Scorpion rigs that the road department trucks have. It's like that crash barrier that like folds out from the back.
Yeah,
that,
those
like,
are cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get one of those for my car.
Or like you know how people put HID lights in their front headlights.
Yeah.
You put it in your rear ones. You're a menace on the road.
High beams for the back.
Exactly. Stay away.
But other than that,
I mean, that sounds like the big adventure for the week.
yeah, pretty much. But did you have any big adventures?
Not some. We got a Wii.
Yep.
Which was a big adventure. It's not that. I mean, we did an exchange with a local Tacoma. Looked like college student.
What'd you exchange for it, if you don't mind me asking?
It was $50 for the Wii and 2 controllers and 1 game.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, and then my cousin Patrick came over and he brought some more games and 1 more controller. And then I think Willie might be at the store right now, maybe getting 1 more controller and maybe an adapter so we can plug the Wii into the computer instead of just into the TV.
I see you got the black edition.
We did. He had a couple different colors. We went black because I think it's cool.
Oh yeah, it definitely looks nice. I think it's definitely a party, sort of game console. Like if you have people
Definitely,
over,
for having
it's just
people
very
over.
fun to play. So I think well worth the investment. But you're pretty good at Wii tennis, I take it.
Wii tennis is my strength. Wii bowling is Zach is dominant in Wii bowling. Other than that, we've been kind of somewhat even paced so far. We haven't really found our specialties yet. It's only been a couple days, but I'm sure we'll get there.
Wii golf is brutal.
Wii golf, it's hard to be precise.
Yes, very much so.
Very hard to be precise.
Are you remembering to use your wrist strap?
Well, we don't have wrist straps on all of the controllers, but luckily most games aren't very swinging gesture oriented.
You got some of the OG pre-recall controllers without the wrist.
No, I think they were like taken off or something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly.
Living dangerously.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that common.
No, I think people made a bigger deal out of it than it was.
Yeah.
Plus, this TV probably, is worth less than $100.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
It wouldn't be great if it broke, but it wouldn't be,
Did you go to any events this weekend?
This weekend I was mostly working.
That's right.
But this upcoming weekend at the Tacoma Club on 6th, I'm going to be hosting for the whole weekend, which will be fun.
I might check that out.
Liz Mealy. And, it'll be fun. It'll be my first hosting or weekend hosting for any of the Bark Entertainment clubs. So I'll try to do an extra good job.
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly what that will mean. I'm sure it'll be fine. That club, everybody does well. So it makes it nice.
No, I like that club a lot.
But yeah, I had very few Tacoma-related events this week. I guess, I went to the mall.
Mm-hmm.
We bought some Wii games at the mall.
Nice.
But we were also looking for some stuff they didn't have. I guess there's 2 game stores in the mall. There's like the return your games used game store, and then the GameStop is pretty much all new stuff.
Yep.
I hadn't been aware of such a stark division in the gaming community. at the mall, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, I was actually at the mall pretty recently too.
Oh yeah, what'd you get?
I got this bucket hat.
Bucket hat looks very nice on you. I like the bucket hat style. It's very simple.
Thank you, thank you. It also keeps the sun off my ears, which is something I'm
Ah.
always very worried about.
Most hat styles don't cover in that direction.
You got good hair
You'd have
for
to
it.
wear it sideways,
Yeah.
and then only one ear would be protected.
I like this baseball bat.
I got the baseball bat this week at a Goodwill.
Nice.
We were at the bins, and so it was like $2.50. It's nice to hold in your hand and to do some casual stretches with. Even to put up against your back for a little lumbar support.
1984 Seattle Mariners.
That's what it claims.
This thing's dope.
Yeah, that means it's a very old bat.
I'm more of a Louisville Slugger kind of guy myself, but I will say a nice Rawlings it's a decent bat too.
Yeah, I never really played that much baseball, but it's enticing me to go out into the yard and hit some apples.
It's
we got
fun.
this apple tree that's been leaking apples this month, and I think getting a couple of barrels out to the park down the hill, Jefferson Park or whatever it is, and hitting some apples could be fun.
You know what I should have done, because I'm going to be moving soon? I should have asked the rental place if I can get a pickup truck.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. You should do that.
Although since I'm moving across town, like getting a U-Haul would be stupid cheap. Because it's what, $19.95 for the rental itself plus mileage and gas. I mean,
Yeah,
if I'm just moving like a few miles,
very easy.
too easy.
Yeah, because I think it's less than a day for that price, but that's still pretty good.
I want to set up and some of you might know what I'm talking about. If you go up Stadium Way, like heading towards Stadium High School, and you see 4th Street, there's a left turn on 4th Street by the light rail station, and there's a sign that says no left turns for trucks and buses.
Okay.
I feel like it would be fun to set up a camera there and like have it record that turn, because I've seen so many U-Hauls get stuck.
Oh,
Get stuck bottom out on that hill, and then they have to call a tow truck or get someone to help them out. It's wild, dude. It's gotten a lot better since they put that sign up. There wasn't always a sign there, but I think it's one of the steepest streets in Tacoma, just by like the slope, right, of the actual road.
Okay.
And trucks get stuck there all the time, and it sort of reminds me of this YouTube channel I saw. It was like I think it's called like 11'8" bridge, and it's like a live stream camera set up outside of a bridge that's 11 foot 8 high, and most trucks are 13 feet 6 inches.
Oh, that's
so
a
you
lot
see
more.
a lot of trucks like shave, like wreck.
Well, that's
trying
a lot. That's hardly a shave. That's a whole foot.
Yeah, smaller box trucks are a bit shorter, but they'll still like, it's almost
Flip
like a
their
can
corners.
opener effect. Like if you've ever opened a
Yeah.
can of sardines or something, like it just peels back and rolls off. It's wild. It's fun to watch. But yeah, so some Tacoma news. The main library in Tacoma is going to get a huge renovation soon.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
great news.
Yeah,
It's not that good of a library.
No, they're going to do a big renovation for it, so that should be exciting. And I had some details, but I read the article like a week ago, so I don't remember them. But
That's all right.
I'm sure they got nice renderings.
Are they going to have to demolish the old one and put the new one in its place, or is there?
I think
like
they're
a new
they're
location?
just gonna completely. I think the superstructure, like the building's gonna be there. I think the interior is what's really getting renovated.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not like we're not gonna have some architectural masterpiece
Yeah,
like the
not
Seattle
it's not
one,
like the
but
Seattle
at
library.
least a considerable effort will go into like modernizing
Have
the
you ever
interior.
been in that Seattle library?
I have not actually.
It's an architectural marvel.
Yeah.
It actually is maybe the coolest building I've ever been in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
got a lot of great very interesting details.
I'm gonna have to go for it then.
The observation deck at the very top, the way that it does a spiral staircase from floor 7 to floor 10. Floor 4, that's completely orange and has no edges to it. It's all curved.
I really got to see this now.
Yeah. Plus all the books.
Yeah, we're not gonna be getting that, but it will be nicer. It will be a library befitting of a city of 200,000 people.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, so I don't actually think I've been to the main Tacoma library. I've been to a couple branch libraries in the area. I've never been to the main Tacoma library.
It's very mediocre. And it has okay parking, but like I'm used to the King County library system, and I'd say 9 out of 10 King County libraries are better than the Tacoma library.
To be honest, the only reason I went to the library in the past few years was just to print things off before I got a printer.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
I'd say that the school libraries are all better than it too.
Oh,
the Tacoma Community College Library, way better. The PLU or the UPS campus library, way better.
Yeah, I have to check out the community college library once because I'll be close.
It's nice
when I move. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It takes a little bit to walk to from the parking, but that's sometimes nice.
Yeah.
A little walk through campus.
You know, I thought the toll got decreased to go across the Narrows Bridge. It's still like $5.50 if you're.
Well, if you don't have the good to go pass.
Yeah.
You got to get that good to go pass.
I got the good to go pass.
It'll save you $1 every time.
But still, I mean,
I think then it's $4.
And if you bill by mail, is $6.50?
Yeah.
That's insane. I couldn't imagine living in Gig Harbor and working on the other side of the Narrows. I mean,
I don't know. I think like if you're comparing, would you rather have an extra 20 minutes on your daily commute or pay an extra $5? I think that's a split that I'd take, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Even 15, even 10.
Yeah.
Depending on what your hourly wage is. Right? If you think about it that way, then you could say, I know some people who live in Gig Harbor and they live about 10 minutes away from here, from where I live. A lot nicer or a lot cheaper to get here than Seattle or whatever.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, it does seem when you see the number every time, it doesn't do good for your mental.
No, and I think for me, it's just so easy to be lulled over there because it's like, oh, it's free out that way, and then you're on their way back, and it's like, geez, Louise, this is a fortune.
I could have seen a quarter of a movie.
Yeah, or gotten one venti drink from a Starbucks.
Exactly.
But, yep.
But like, you don't think about every time you go in your car, what percentage of your insurance and what percentage of your car payment is, amortized over each mile.
For sure.
Unless
that's true.
I mean, maybe you do. I wouldn't put it past you.
No, but I mean,
when you get reimbursal for driving for work, it's like 71 cents a mile.
That's pretty good, actually. I think my work only gives me 65.
65? Is that what it is? I might be a little off.
It depends on the company.
Yeah. But, like, you then compare that to, you're like, well, that's way cheaper than gas, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's your only immediate expenditure, so.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, it's funny. Whenever I have to, drive for work, I have a friend at work that also has to drive for work, and it's like, when you put in that expense form and get the check back, I'm like, it's basically printing money.
Yeah, you're getting paid.
Money you already spent.
Yeah, exactly. Although it is nice when you can double up with somebody like that and you can, carpool and
split the gas.
You get the double payout on half the pay-in.
Yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, some other Tacoma news I had. Let me go to my notes here.
What was it that I saw recently? It was something about.
Oh, this is.
I can't remember.
if you remember what you have, but mine's big. I got a
Okay.
big one. Have you been following the collapse of the Pac-12?
Oh yeah,
Oh my goodness.
it's crazy.
Holy crap.
It's really funny to me because the names are so stupid now.
Yeah.
That the Pac-12 has 4, and the Big Ten has 18. And those names don't mean anything. But it is upsetting to me that Washington and Oregon split up.
Yeah, or Washington and Wazoo. Like, there won't
Or
be an
the
Apple Cup
Washington
again.
split up and the Oregon split up.
Yeah. I mean, is it...
I think they're still, like, we'll play a game against each other, but I don't know. Just being in different divisions feels like...
It's ridiculous.
Like, come on.
So, like, this was brought up to me by, like, I forget what like article I read, but it's like, for a football team to be in the Big Ten, right? It's great, lucrative TV deal, and if you're like a Division I football player, this is great, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're competing with powerhouses like like the SEC is a football powerhouse, and now you're in the Big Ten, and you're getting basically like SEC level coverage, right? Because the Big Ten gets a nice TV deal too. So it's great for you if you're a football player, especially because those football programs probably have so much revenue they can take like a chartered flight or something and stay in a nice hotel. What if you're on like, I don't know, the tennis team?
Oh, yeah, right.
And you got to go out to Rutgers fucking New Jersey on like a commercial flight.
I mean,
like economy.
People say that, but I actually think that would be sick. Like, you'd be like, sweet, instead of going to Corvallis, I'm going to go to New Jersey. Like, it's much more of an exotic adventure.
I don't think Rutgers, New Jersey is that exotic.
I mean, it's less convenient, I would agree, but I think that's kind of one of the cool things that you sign up for a sport is you get to travel. To travel through sports is cool to me. It's an expense, but it's an expense to the college.
It's not just an expense, but like you're coming back. Let's say you get back at like, I don't know, 2 a.m, and then you got to go to class the next day. I don't know. It's just like,
I don't know. To me, like the difference between a 5-hour flight and a 3-hour flight is almost indiscernible. Because both of them, you're eating up almost a whole day regardless. You got to get to the airport however early. You got to get to the airport. You got to pack all your stuff. Like, all of those things stay pretty much the same. An extra 2 hours that you watch one more movie on the flight, I don't know. To me, the only real pain is the expense. And the college is eating that, which I think they should anyway.
yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the person. I like maybe going out to New Jersey like once would be cool, but like regularly during my college career, no.
Would you? What if I was to say, all right, we're gonna be in the Big Ten, so now instead of going to, California 6 different times, you're gonna go to Michigan, and you're gonna go to Chicago, and you're gonna go to, Nashville, and you're gonna go to
Like,
a couple Texas places. To
I
me,
don't-
that sounds way better.
I don't know how much time they get to like maybe go explore or enjoy themselves, like how much leisure time. I'm not sure if like they get on the ground, they go to bed, and the next day they're like getting ready for the game, and then they go
probably
home
pretty
right
close
afterwards.
to that. But you got to see that other campus, and you got to see you get probably one night out.
Sure, maybe. I don't know. Well, I
if you
guess
win.
I wasn't an athlete in college, so I'm not really sure what that life is like. But
I think if you're on the bus, then that's a big difference to me.
Yeah,
But you're probably less likely to be on a bus if you have to go all the way to New Jersey.
yeah, but like if you're on a chartered flight, I'm sure it's nice. But if you're like in economy class on like, I don't know, American Airlines, like it can be okay, but sometimes it can be really shitty too.
Yeah, but you're also going with your whole team. It's not like you independently are going.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I think there's also something to be said for like, the end of like the rivalries.
That's a good. That's something I do care about.
Yeah.
Like, what rivalry do we have with a country? Places so far away.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, I've probably said this like 3 or 4 times on this podcast already, but the premier rivalry in Major League Soccer is Seattle-Portland because they're close to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And I mean, there's other rivalries that are brewing up in Major League Soccer that are also just as like feverish and intense, right? Like LA versus LA, right? But there's something about being close that makes the rivalries just much better because the fans can come along too.
You can go to an away game more likely.
Exactly, and you can do it regularly.
Yeah.
So I think, gosh, I don't know if this is maybe too much, but I think it was someone from Wazoo was like, TV money has destroyed college sports.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a bit of it. That's a little too much.
I can understand why somebody at Wazoo probably thinks that right now.
Yeah.
Because
they're going to be all alone.
Well, yeah, I mean, unless they join another conference.
I think they'll have to. I think what Stanford's going to go independent is what I heard, like Notre Dame.
Wow.
Because Stanford has so many sports where they're the number one school for that aren't football that they have power in kind of a different way.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
they're
crazy.
like the number one, swimming school or soccer school or track school or, all these things.
I've always wanted to go to a Notre Dame football game.
Notre Dame would be a good one.
Yeah.
I saw when Notre Dame came to UW.
Nice. But yeah, maybe that is a bit much, but we'll see as things develop. I imagine other conferences might collapse because from what I understand, a bunch of schools pulled out of the Pac-12 because the Pac-12 failed to secure a TV broadcasting deal.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if this will be the fate of some other, maybe not in terms of football, maybe not, top tier, but like sort of the next level down of conferences. Like I wouldn't say the Pac-12's no Big Ten or SEC. It certainly isn't now, but like,
it was one step below.
I wonder if like, other smaller conferences, like when I was in Virginia, the ACC.
Yeah, I was going to say the ACC used to be giant, and then it's pretty much just basketball, and the basketball isn't even what it used to be.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how things develop. But yeah, maybe saying TV money has destroyed college sports, maybe not yet, but
it's definitely doing some damage.
Certainly. Which is,
But you could also say maybe more people are watching it than ever. I don't know if that's true.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people already watch college football.
It's tough to make it a lot more.
Maybe there will just be more teams on at more times.
Yeah. More just spread out.
Yeah.
More highlight clips, that kind of stuff.
But yeah, big news. Not that, I'm sure it doesn't really affect UW Tacoma, but a lot of UW fans out here and Wazoo fans.
Yeah, definitely.
And God forbid Oregon fans.
Yeah, or Cal fans.
Yeah, so it's I'm sure it hurts. One other piece of news.
There'll be more news on that for sure as we progress through the season.
Yeah. One other piece of news I have is there's calls for unincorporated Pierce County, the region that includes Spanaway, Parkland, Frederickson, that area that's east of Tacoma. There's calls for that to incorporate.
Oh, okay.
Because so many people live there now. I forget what the exact numbers are, but it's I want to say it's 30 or 40,000 people live in those areas. But the thing is, so people out there, I think it was 39% of residents are extremely unsatisfied with the level of services, public services provided in unincorporated Pierce County. So there's calls for incorporation. The problem is the hypothetical city that would be created by these areas incorporating wouldn't be able to generate enough revenue to cover its services. It would actually have a $4 to $5 million budget shortfall annually. And it sort of brings up
But it wouldn't make any money on that, on incorporating.
no, whatever revenue they generate from incorporating would
is
not
still
be able
less
to
than.
cover the services they would have to provide as a city, right? Or just like the whole process of incorporation, because that's a big deal. And here's the thing: people in unincorporated Pierce County are complaining about a lack of services, and I can understand that, right? If the ambulance response times are crap, that's a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people move to unincorporated Pierce County because it's cheaper, and part of
course.
why it's cheaper is
You don't have the services.
you don't have the services. Exactly. You go as soon as you cross outside of Tacoma into Parkland. Oh, well, not all parts of Parkland, but like a lot of Parkland, no sidewalk, right? I mean, it's those little things that sometimes they forget about. I mean, of course, police and fire and stuff like that. Those are important, but like sidewalks, no sidewalks.
Yeah, how are you gonna walk?
Exactly, but you know that,
street?
or like water. Water in unincorporated Pierce County is significantly cheaper than city water.
Why is that? Because it's not being treated?
No, it's being treated. Part of the reason why is I don't think, unincorporated Pierce County needs to make as much money because it's not providing, like...
It doesn't have to be as big of a scale or something?
No, it's like if you think about TPU, like it's bundled with a bunch of other utilities, right? So
Okay.
I don't know if the city uses water and sewage revenue to
To
supplement other aspects of like the public utilities infrastructure. Whereas if I'm not mistaken, unincorporated Pierce County, like water and sewage is about it. Like garbage is usually like LeMay or Republic. Electricity and gas is usually Puget Sound Electric. So, I think you're just paying for water and sewage,
interesting.
right? And I'm not sure, what level of service you get either. I imagine, a sewage and water system for a city is probably a bit more sophisticated than it is for, a smaller sort of exurban or suburban area. But, that's... I'm not entirely sure.
So do you think it's going to happen, or do you think it'll never happen?
It can't happen, right? Because a city has to balance its budget, right? It's not like the federal government where it can have
but
a
do you
national
think there's
debt.
a way that it ever could work? Could somebody figure it out, or
They
is
would
it just
have to
doomed from the start?
significantly raise taxes and probably under-deliver on services at the same time, which is a double negative if the whole benefit of incorporation is to create better services, right? So
I guess we'll see.
maybe some people just don't want to be incorporated.
Yeah, well, that's what I was wondering, is of the unincorporated, how many of them are really pushing for it? That's what I'm saying. 3 to 4 million is not that much if it's like a business that exists over there, and they're like, we can get significant whatever if we are incorporated instead. But
I guess the other path is annexation. If you want the services, you vote to be annexed by a bigger city. So Parkland, for instance, would be annexed by Tacoma.
You could do that.
Yes, it happens all the time.
But that's cheaper than incorporation?
Well, because you're being brought into a larger city, yes, much
you're not
cheaper.
making your own thing. You're just
right. They're not. They don't
adopting.
have to build the whole thing from the ground up. Right. They're just being roped into Tacoma's existing infrastructure, and of course there would be improvements made to expand that infrastructure to the newly annexed part of the city. But yeah, city annexations are pretty common actually in local politics, because residents, especially when you look at areas like unincorporated Pierce County that have seen large growth, especially surges in traffic and demand for services, it does sometimes make sense to join a bigger city that can provide those services.
Interesting. Well, I guess we'll we'll stay posted to see if either of those things end up happening.
Yeah, we'll just keep watching ballots. One day you might see on the ballot, like, Parkland
They want to join
votes
us.
a vote to be annexed by the city of Tacoma.
Well,
But yeah,
I
it's
don't know how I'd feel, but I guess I'll
local
look forward
politics
to
are super interesting.
It is kinda crazy.
I really wish it was like you didn't have to subscribe to like a newspaper to get the good stuff.
Yeah, like if there's a better local news channel or something like that.
Yeah, or like YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what we're doing for the people.
Yeah, we
We're
are
a
helping
we're
out
a
in that respect.
regurgitating conduit.
And I guess we're blessed that we at least have a newspaper. A lot of places don't even have that.
I think most places do have a newspaper, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It is like the small town newspaper. That's a classic.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So you got any other Tacoma for us or
Not really. I mean, I guess we got some upcoming events.
Yeah, well, I'm hosting this weekend at 6th and Proctor. We covered that, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much all I got planned for my
And
week.
what is it? 2 weeks? We got the Cantana Festival? That's in
That's
Renton.
right. I saw Smokey Johnson was at the mall today passing out
Full
festival
flyers.
tickets.
Tickets. Oh, he had tickets.
Yeah, so maybe somebody.
Yeah, I
grab
mean, he might still be out there.
Yeah, well, I don't know how he'll get back.
Yeah.
But good luck to him and all the Cantana comedians.
Yeah,
And
best.
Tech
Yeah.
9 and all that.
Yeah, a bunch of our friends.
Good luck, Tech 9. You can do it.
Yeah, I'm sure he can. He comes to Tacoma, like the Tacoma or like the Pacific Northwest, very often. I've
I
noticed.
heard that's the only time this year. So,
Oh, really?
I mean, annually seems like more than enough, but
Yeah.
that's fine by me. Tech 9.
Tech 9.
All right. Well, I guess we'll do our salutations and see you next Monday. Till then, live life like the mountains out.
Bye.